Let's see. Yeah, hello everyone. I should be live now on the Release Family channel here on Facebook as well. For those who don't know me yet, I'm Max Bisi. I'm one of the editors at Release Family. And you already saw on the channels that we shared a lot of about this new PK EP that was released last Friday on Release Records. And I'm known for actually reviews on my private Facebook, Max Bisi, and I'm doing this regularly on my Bisicast, for those who don't know me. And Sabrina was so kind and let me actually analyze this EP, and because actually it touches me emotionally a lot. It really kind of reminds me of this very old days of of real progressive, when I really got in love with progressive, like roughly 7 years ago, with this old stuff by Axwell, Nicky Romero, Avicii, those guys that are very popular nowadays, but are well, but do something totally different today. So we're gonna start off with the first track. That is a 3-track EP called From the Outset. It was released last Friday, with, by the way, a very beautiful cover. The first track is Solace, and I hope that the quality is fine. And maybe one more or two more things about like his set at the Box in Amsterdam last week. Like roughly, it must have been 1.5 weeks ago. The set was absolutely sick. Like, he played from 4:15 till 5 p.m. a.m. He was the last one to play, and yeah, he played an absolutely amazing set. And it was really like, when it's about the like dramaturgy of like the sets, when a third party came in, and afterwards there was DOD, and PK was like a solid finish, to all this. So yeah. We're starting off with Solace. In my opinion, when it drops, my absolutely favorite track of this EP, because like the melody and the atmosphere is like so simple that it really gets you moving. Like, it's like really you don't need much to kind of get in this progressive mood. After 15 seconds there comes the hi-hats. And this is like, it's like kind of a master kind of progressive track, Like, you can really, if you like are progressive, then then you can kind of show people like this track, and you don't know what progressive house is about. You just show them a track and say, well, this is progressive. This is what I'm listening to. So yeah. Let me get a sip of my iced tea, because some of you already know that I was also in Amsterdam last week during the ADE, and was there at the release party at the Box, which was absolutely amazing. Third party players were a very amazing set. Not very much from new music from their new album, but still like very like cool, set with lots and lots of the tracks from their previous album Hope. And also what I like so much about this track is when it's like the drop goes for 1 minute and 15 seconds, and then there's a 15-second breakdown, and then another 30 seconds of the drop. So this is like absolutely sick. Like, also like when it's about the arrangement of the track. Like, really, like, it's so rare nowadays that you hear a track basically dropping for 2 minutes. I know that you like really can't really compare this music to EDM, where like it's about hard distorted kicks and only 30 seconds drops, But like, when I started listening to electronic music, I was listening to something like this. It's like what was normal, the drops were 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes long, roughly 7 years ago, when this was kind of the EDM thing, like kind of the mainstream of electronic music, basically. You can't really call it mainstream, because back then, there was no radio, there was no whatever. Yeah, electronic music was not so present on the radio as it is nowadays. Nowadays there's electronic music in everything. Maybe the only one who was doing this back then, that was David Guetta, and that was really the beginnings of, you know, getting into radio. He was doing his own thing, and the other ones were doing this progressive stuff. And that's why this is so enjoyable. And after a 1 minute breakdown, there comes the next drop with like this FX. And when I was listening to this track, like I was listening to the preview, I guess, before I left for ADE, and I was like not expecting. I was listening to the preview on SoundCloud, expecting nothing, because I was like I didn't know what to expect. And then actually he comes, you know, with something almost Eric Prydz-esque, and you know, I was sitting like this, you know, chilling, listening to the preview, and I started listening to this, hearing this Pride of vibes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, am I listening correctly? Like, is this like so good? I was so absolutely surprised by this. So yeah, the track is called Solace, and it's from by Pete. I of course dropped the links, because what the Release family doesn't know, I'm also at the same time, I'm live also on my private Facebook profile, where I usually do my podcast, my Bisicast. So if you feel like you enjoy what I'm doing here, then feel free, you know, to send me a friend request, or simply subscribe to my private profile account, because all my Bisicasts are public, so you'll never miss a single episode. Okay, this was Solace, and next up we're having the second track on the EP, which is called Stellar. So Solace is like one of my favorites, like really, like maybe to finish this track off, like I was listening to this like 4 or 5 times a day, like, and totally losing my mind to like kind of, you know, this arrangement with, you know, this 1 minute 30-second drop, or like 1 minute 15 seconds, then 30-second breakdown, 30-second another drop. Absolutely sick. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the links first, I guess, to my Bisicast, and then of course also on the Release channel, if I can do that. If not, then I'll just do it with my let me check if I can do this, because it's like, it's, as I mentioned, it's very complicated, because I'm having 2 devices now, a true Bisicastception. Let me just take a pic for that, because this is like something very extraordinary, like also for me. So let's hope that I can manage this also here somehow. I hope that you're at least enjoying it. So up next, there's Stellar. To me, like the how to phrase this, it's kind of the deepest track of the EP. So so like if I would be like very strict, I would like say, you know, it's very it's my least favorite track. But you know, I don't really want to say this so hardly or so harshly. Not harshly. Because, like, you know, it's like every track on the EP has a different approach to the progressive style, which, you know, why I love this EP so much, because it incorporates so much, you know, elements. Like every single track is like a different face of progressive electronic music, you know, and that's why I love this so much. And also, like, if it's a bit kind of deeper, like, I don't know, more melancholic maybe, then you know, then maybe, you know, then it's still very enjoyable, but maybe like on another level, on a bit like different approach in my head. I'm grading you, Ivano. I hope that you're enjoying it. I'm like kind of reviewing here now this PK EP on Release Records. It was released last Friday from the Outset. It's called, and this is the second track of the EP, called Stellar. I'm also gonna drop the links. And I like especially this part, yeah. This is a very, very nice part, because, for example, Cripe is using this also a lot, you know, to have like only 30 seconds, like beat and bass, you know. and not much going on here. So it's very enjoyable as well. So you know, this is why we actually founded Release Family, because we really want to make some getting like more awareness of this beautiful progressive music, you know, like, because this is something which is very rare nowadays, I guess. And Bruno is saying in my Bisicast on my private profile that he's the Portuguese pride, and I would really second that. So absolutely, nothing else actually to add to that. And you know, also like I'm having also another very favorite Brazilian progressive house producer. He's called Deadline, and you know, if they can join forces, this would be like my next dream collab, to kind of, you know, have like a BK and Deadline on the same track. That would be sick. So yeah, we're having here also now a 45-second drop, then a 15-second build up into the next 45-second drop, then again 15 seconds build up into the outro. So also here, when it's about the arrangement, absolutely perfect. Really gives the time for the track to breathe. Absolutely wonderful. Just give it a listen, because I'm talking way too much over it. Sorry for that. But the kick and the snare also working very well together on this one. Those are the 15 seconds. And also the outro, a very nice bass line, which I guess you can't really hear in the intro and the outro. So like in the first and in the second drop. So you know, I'm not like, unfortunately I don't have time to really like take really the whole track apart of all these elements, because simply, you know, I rather focus like more on the track as a whole than on like main elements. You know, sometimes, you know, when it's interesting, but you know, nowadays, you know, it's very tough to revolutionize electronic music, right? Because at one point it simply works. So like I said, last revolution was the sidechaining, you know, but you know, from that on, basically, you know, it's always good, you know, to play around with leads and stuff like that, but you know, usually there's nothing too like much revolutionary around the track. Yeah, still a great track in the middle. So it's like this EP is like a burger, you know, like a positive kind of a different and kind of again positive, because my second favorite track of the EP is the last one I'm going to analyze also on this Release Family channel. It's called Allegoria, and I guess this is like the most true progressive kind of one, I believe. This is simply due to the fact that I don't know, like when it's about the sounds, it's I guess probably the closest to like real progressive sound, like for example what Graham used to do, or I guess still does at some points. And because like Solace is like my favorite, but like it's more uplifting, I would say. And this one is like really true progressive sound. Goes on for 6 minutes, and it's absolutely sick. It was like the claps. This is like, you know, like sometimes, you know, what I'm also praying so much in my Bisicast is often the small things in a track that get you excited about a certain track. So, you know, this is very interesting to hear, right? So, sometimes, you know, it's only the clap, you know, that like gives it, you know, like this last piece of like, for example, salt in the soup, you know, like that really makes up like the whole track in general. Absolutely sick. Of course, have I mentioned already the melody? It's insane as well. So I'm dropping the links into the chats. If you want to re-listen to it on Soundcloud. I guess they uploaded the whole track, which is also very nice. But you don't have to kind of listen to previews or something like that. Yes. Absolutely wonderful. I guess, you know, this is the hardest part about electronic music is actually getting a melody, you know, that works. That you don't actually at one point that you don't think that it's kind of how to say this, like boring, I would say, and still actually also works after like many kind of hours, because like I produced like he probably sits, you know, on the track for several hours, and you know, and like tries, you know, to craft a sound, a melody, whatever, and then, you know, comes up with something so sick, because when this kind of melody is over in the first drop, there comes a second layer, what I call. So those kind of strings in the background work so nicely in the second drop. Absolutely sick. Just enjoy it. Exactly, yeah. It's a little do-do, Hannah, exactly. This is kind of it's kind of the strings in the background. And something, you know, that works very well. This reminds me of Grum, In Love, I guess it was called, the track. It's, I guess, already 3 years old or so, but, you know, it's still very amazing. And Camille, I was very busy. So what I did after university today was I had to do some grocery shopping, because tomorrow the shops are closed because it's holiday, All Saints. And after that, rushed home, watched the news, and I did the Bisicast. So no time for answering you. I'll answer later. Don't worry about it. And now listen to this, what you sent me. Don't worry. That was for one guy in my other chat. And Antonio, also, you're right. Kappa is also doing stuff like that. My goodness, it's like I'm losing it so much. Like my head, like it's like an explosion, you know, like an eargasm. I call it eargasm because, you know, like I can't believe it's so beautiful, and so euphoric at the same time, and still so progressive. I can't grasp it, really. So yeah, I guess that's all from me for the release family. I posted here like all the links in the description or like in the comments. I'm gonna upload this as on my YouTube channel, like separately. I'm gonna probably drop the links tomorrow or the day after, because I'm gonna restream this on Twitch through my Max Bisi account, Max_Bisi, and yeah. So that you can re-watch it, and you know. Also, it's now your turn. Tell me what you think of this EP. In my opinion, it's simply marvelous, absolutely sick, insane. Also, like shoutouts to Johnny and Harry for like giving Pete the platform to make this happen, to kind of, you know, expose his music to the public, and, you know, to touch my heart, because it touched me a lot, especially also his set at the box at like 4:15 till 5 a.m. in the morning, roughly 1.5 weeks ago on a Sunday. On a Saturday. Actually, it was already Sunday because it was Sunday morning. Yeah, and I hope that you had fun with this short little review, and I hope to see you on the next Bisicast. Or, you know, if you enjoy what I did here, then I'm doing this basically regularly over in my Max Bisi channel. I like my private profile, so just type in Max Bisi in Facebook and you'll find me there. Feel free to send me a friendship request, and, you know, I'm gonna add you there. And if you missed it, I'm gonna also drop the whole episode on YouTube. So yeah, if you like what I'm doing, it would be great, you know, to see your support. Either, you know, with a thumbs up, with a comment, with what you think of this EP. In my opinion, it's simply absolutely amazing, absolutely perfect. Yeah. hope that you had fun, and, you know, see you on the next episode, maybe. Bye, Release Family. Yeah. Okay, guys, back to my